Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SI 1.10a, How Do Scientists Compile Data. Today we're going to be talking about how we create data tables for recording data in labs and other types of scenarios. So let's take a look here. We're going to look at this example here. So I want you to take a moment and read this and try to think on how we can organize this. It talks about lunch choices for different classes. Okay, so when you're thinking of creating a table, we need to think of a couple of things. We need to first think about what is being manipulated or changed. Okay. We want to think of what groups are being created. Okay, so that's the one thing. And also, what is being measured. Okay, so we need to remember that as part of our notes. Okay, so I look at this. And let me erase that. And now I'm able to do a lot of stuff with it. I can take a look at the data, it's organized, and I can look here and ask this question, explain how many people voted for pizza as their favorite vote. I can look up at this section with sigma right here, and then I could look over where pizza is, and I could see, oh, 7 people voted for pizza for favorite lunch items, whereas 8 voted for chicken, and whatever things that they have, chicken nuggets, chicken everything for lunch. And brunch, my favorite personally, is 5 votes for Sigma. So those are all the different votes. Which is the least liked item in pie? I could take a look at where pie is on here, and I could go over to the least favorite. Pie, we disagree here. You like brunch. Okay, so we don't like that. And they only had like 3 people of them like brunch. So got to remember when it's organized, I'm better able to gather new information and insights about the data. Okay, so our example that we're going to be looking at is this. I want you to take a moment to read it. It's also in your paper. I'm not going to take too much time here to read that, so you can pause this video. And I have the example up here if we want to pause and you want to take a look back at it. But when creating a data table, we want to follow these steps. Okay. First, we need to identify the independent and dependent variables. So the independent variable in this one is what I am changing or what groups I'm creating here. And so if I look at this question here, I'm a 6th grade teacher here, and I'm looking at eating habits here, and I'm looking at several students, Nate and Melissa and Luke. Okay, so I have those 3 people, and those are people I'm gathering information on. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just getting stuff from them, and so those are my different groups. So my independent variable is the students. Okay, and so those are my students. And my dependent variable then is going to be the fruits, because we had different types of fruits. We had servings of apple, orange, and bananas. In order to create our data table, we need to have, we have 3 people and 3 fruits. I also need to add a row and column for labels. So this is going to give me a 4x4 table. Okay, so we're going to look at how that looks on your second page of your notes. And you'll see it right here. We're going to be putting the independent variables here, for this case, we're going to put them on the y-axis. So we're going to have these here. And then we're going to put our students here. So we're going to have Nate. I'm going to put an N there. We have Melissa, M, and we have Luke. So we can go back and forth. And you should be able to fill in the data table here. So I look here and I see that Nate likes 4 servings of apple, 5 servings of orange, and 5 servings of banana. So I'm going to go back over. Nate likes 4, 5, and 5. So I'd like you to pause this video and try to fill in the rest just like I did here with Nate's. And right when you pause this video, or unpause it, sorry, you'll see the whole thing finished. You have an opportunity to look at your finish your data table. I want you to check it here and see, does it look like this? you should have Melissa's at 3 apples, 2 oranges, and 4 bananas. You might have mixed things up a little bit, and I think I know where your issue is. If you take a look back at this page here, you'll notice with Melissa's, it starts out with bananas, then oranges, then apples. One thing we want to make sure is that even if the apples starts first, closest to the top here, it doesn't start first in our problem. So you need to make sure you put the right servings of apple with the servings of apple in the data table, or like banana or orange, because just because I see the number 4 first right here does not mean that that goes in the apple section here. Just a little thought. And this is about pets at PV. Is that the independent variables that we're gathering data from are the different sections. Okay, so that would be pi, gamma, lambda, and sigma, and omega. And the dependent variables are the pets. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections by 1, 2, 3 animals that we're doing for pets. And so we got a 5 by 3, and we're going to add 1 row to each, so we're going to end up with a 6 by 4. Okay, and so we're going to go to the next thing here. So we got those. We're going to do 6 by 4. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry for the awful drawing right now. Okay, so we got our sections here. We're going to have omega, pi, or sigma, pi, gamma, and lambda. And we're going to have dogs, cats, and so we're going to put fish. Okay, now I want you to read all the data, and I want you to create this data table after we set it up here for yourself, and then double check it here in a moment. So in general, this should be what your data table looks like. You should have a title at the top, and you should have a label for the sections and the pets as well. And so your table should look kind of like this, where you'll see all the data lined up for dogs, and you should be able to line up all that stuff. And so make sure that yours looks like this in your notes to show that you can correctly set up a data table. So just as a reminder for you as you're working on your data tables, we want to make sure that we are adding the rows and the columns. And when you are doing this, setting up a data table, it helps you to organize information for further investigation. So thank you very much for watching this. What you want to do next is you're going to go into the WISC, and you're going to complete the WISC form for today's lesson. Thank you very much.